Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Spellforce Conquest of Eo. I am your host, Colors Fade, and it's episode 1. We're going to start a new campaign. I have really enjoyed playing this game. I feel like it's worthy to put on the channel. I'm going to play as an Artificer. I really like this class. You don't have to customize it at all. Default crafting style will be Artificing. I really like this. Primary school Earthmaster, secondary school Guardian. It works out really, really well. We're going to start in Dracot. Now it says the challenge is tough. Enemies, dwarves, mountain beasts, and monsters, rich in ore. Remote mountain regions. We want to start here because there are two things that we really need. One is there's a town nearby that we want to befriend, which when they're super friendly with us, they're going to give us weekly access to adamantium, which we really need for our artificing, for making glyphs. The second thing is it's really close to another region that has actual adamantium veins on the ground, and you need those for summoning your golems, which is how artificers become strong. That's their best unit type. So we're going to continue with this, and then what we're going to do is sort of randomize this. Let's see, we're going to pick. Here's the guy we don't want to pick. You can beat him and it's fine, but this particular enemy, if you're starting in Dracot in the north, he's kind of like you. He's a dwarf artificer, and he's going to run around and try to mine everything, and he's going to get in your way. It's just annoying, so I don't want to play with him as one of them. We're going to pick Iana the Singer. Hoken Asher, I don't think, let's see, whoever. Yari of the Light is another one of the easy ones. Then we want to pick two that are kind of hard. I beat Urim the Red. I beat Undergast the Weaver. I haven't beat Rohan Tahir yet. I beat Gore. He's kind of a pain in the butt. And I beat Wraith the Black. Let's see. And I don't want to put it on random, so let's go this way. Urim the Red. She's a demonologist. Can't remember what he does. We're going to pick these three. These two right here are pretty easy opponents, and this one's kind of a medium opponent. The only other thing that's kind of fun is to do him. He's undead. He's got a lot of undead minions. So we'll go for these two guys. He's supposed to be really hard. I haven't fought him yet. And then what we're going to do is just play unbalanced. Everything is going to be set up unbalanced. And you can customize your stories. Invasion of the Demon Lords is kind of cool, but it's also kind of annoying, and I don't want that to be part of this first episode. We can do that for later Let's Play series. The trolls are coming, Morgak, Ellen. These all have to do with your heroes. I'm going to turn most of these off because I really want this to happen. I actually don't even want. What is this? The trolls are coming. Yeah, this is cool. These are stories. Morgak is a hero, and Elaine Seletris is a hero as well. I really like her. She's probably my favorite hero. He's not my favorite hero, but his thing is fun because of all the orcs that follow you around. So this is how we're going to start this particular campaign. And then the next Let's Play series, we can do a little more wildness to it. But I want to have a little bit of a controlled environment. And as the game is loading, I want to take a minute to talk about the release schedule for this. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you'll have access to all these videos all at once. You can binge watch at your leisure. For everybody else, it'll be on a weekly release schedule, probably on Tuesdays. It's a turn-based game. We'll do a turn-based Tuesday kind of thing. When a message from your master told you he had discovered a way to channel the Allfire and urged you to come to his tower, you quickly gathered your entourage and set out. The letter contained little more than this note and a small flute, exquisitely carved and bearing your master's sigil. He seemed to fear running afoul of the Circle of Mages, the most powerful covenant of magic users on Eo. His tower, now before you, bears signs of a terrible battle, having raged there. So your first order of business is to go to the tower. The corpses and debris marking the fight inside the great hall of your master's tower fill you with grief for him. Instinctively, your hands go to the flute he sent you with his letter. You trace the fine carvings with your fingers, and memories of your time here flood your mind. Suddenly, the flute seems to hum and vibrate as a small sound emanates from it. Sound morphs into a flute melody, and with it, shadowy images slowly begin to appear across the hall. Figures take form, becoming more solid and taking the shape of two groups facing each other, weapons drawn. You see your old master leading one of the groups. This must be the battle for the tower. You can do that if you need to know how to run the tutorial for the combat. Impressions of the fighting still play in your mind as you slowly walk up the dented stairway. The tower, damaged and deserted, still retains your master's presence somehow, willing you onward. Whatever happened here will not be forgotten. You are sure there was more to discover. Your master was always adept at hiding his secrets, but you are determined to uncover them. You take stock. The entry hall's golden chandelier has been stolen, and its soft carpets are gone. Your master's tower was not just attacked, but also robbed, it appears. On closer inspection, there are several tracks out of the tower. Traces of torn fabrics and dropped cutlery lead to a goblin camp not far from here. We will go there and find those goblin thieves. So now you're in the tower and it emanates your domain. Anything inside your domain that is mineable will show up like this. There'll be icons and there'll be gold as you're mining them, and they're all depletable resources, so they go away over time. So this is where you inventory. The only things we're going to really want to sell there are stuff that only alchemists can use, and we're going to want to build our first room right off the bat, the glyph smithy. And then we're going to go grab this mana. And we will go grab these goblins here in a second. Oh, bummer. We have to fight these guys already. Okay. We could lose him. We're going to auto-resolve and see how it goes. Okay. Usually I like to quick save before battles. I should have quick saved before the end of the turn. You won't always lose guys in auto-resolve when it shows the death symbol on it. It means you may lose them. But if you're ever uncertain, you can play out the battle manually and use your own tactics. I'm not terribly good at the manual battling, by the way. So I tend to try to build my units so they can beat things in auto-resolve. These guys have damage against armor. That'd be a good choice. Every time they level up, they get a choice between two things. These are low-level, level 1 units. They're never going to get to the end game where willpower is going to be really important. So in the early game, I take melee damage for them when I'm given a choice like that. You wander the old familiar rooms of the tower, lost in memories of your time here as an apprentice. The place was clearly searched through before the goblins ransacked it. Your master's crafting room has been depleted, most of the other chambers ravaged. Whoever did this left no stone unturned. Go to the library, and buried beneath a toppled bookcase in your master's gutted library, you find his old grimoire. Reverently, you open the heavy tome. Many of its beautifully illustrated pages have been torn out, but you still see bits and pieces of your master's illegible script. He was always secretive about his arcane research, often writing in code. You look for the first spells he taught you, carefully flipping the large pages to one of the bookmarks attached to the spine. You can indeed make out some of the basics. Others you can almost decipher. This needs further study. You gaze around the room, imagining a treasure trove of arcane knowledge hidden among the scattered scrolls and torn books. A lifetime of magical study at your disposal, and you earn some research. I will not leave until I have recovered my master's knowledge. You will learn about the stolen pages very soon, but now you have access to your book. And this is really cool. I like the way they do this. It's not just a book full of spells. It's going to help guide you on the quests and have other things. So this is really cool. It shows you room blueprints that you're going to have access to and how to get them if you want them. It's pretty cool. I like the way they designed a lot about this game. In fact, that's kind of one of the things, the reason I've been playing this so much is I just really, really like the way they designed this game. We're going to go up here and grab these goods. Artificing supplies. We need to get healthy now before we take these guys on. This is going to allow us to hire dwarven sentries when inside your domain. So we need our domain to grow. We don't have access to the thing yet that allows you to adjust how much gold or research or this mastery is happening at the same time, but we'll get there soon. So your first research, summon an enchanted wisp. We're going to want that, and let's do aid first, actually. The wisp is really useful right out of the gate, but I would like to be able to heal my people. Glyph Smithy is constructed, so now you can go to Artificing and you can see this. This system is really cool. We'll get into it. It won't take long. It's really awesome. You use these things combined with ore to make glyphs, and I have a whole list of glyphs that are really useful to my particular team, so we will be making them. And then whenever there's a gold dot up here, it means you need to see something about your book. This is going to show you how to progress. So again, it's a very quest-oriented 4X game, which I find unique. I really, really like this. So it wants us to craft 4 glyphs, and we'll get there. It won't take long. All right, the goblins are up there, and you guys are not quite healed. We're going to roll you over here for a turn. The independents are moving. What are your next steps? The destruction of your master's tower must mean he uncovered something of the Allfire's secrets, which the Circle guards fiercely. You can restore the contents of his grimoire, but his tower needs rebuilding too. And if the Circle is behind his disappearance, you must expect them to come for you as well. Maybe they know of your discovery already. Alright, what exactly is the Circle? The Circle of Mages, a covenant of the most powerful magi on Eo. They supposedly protect all practitioners of magic, furthering knowledge of the mystical arts. But they are also the only living beings to have begun to master the Allfire's might, having recently discovered the key to its might on the faraway continent of Zu. Now, they bar others from partaking in the Allfire's immense power, claiming it's too dangerous for the uninitiated to handle. I will have to tread carefully. Taking proper stock of your master's laboratory, you find very little more than empty vials and containers that have, like everything else, been searched through. It was certainly not the work of goblins. You can make out tracks of a cart leading to a nearby hamlet you passed on your way here. Did the villagers plunder the tower after it was abandoned too? I suppose I should check with them. So we want to go there, and we want to go to the goblin camp, and we're healthy. So let's go to the goblin camp first. We want to save some money here. We're going to wait and watch. From the camp, you can make out loud and obnoxious squabbling of goblins. It appears they are fighting over loot from the tower, screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. You watch and wait for the goblins to do even more damage to each other, but one tugs at another one's nose and points in your direction, screeching. All out. The goblins stop their screaming just long enough to stare at you, then fall over one another trying to flee the camp. Let them flee. The goblins stop in their tracks and look at you sheepishly. One of them, wearing a cooking pot for a helmet, shouts, "We knows you. You the master's old pupil, yes? We serves, master wizard. But robes cames and took 'em. We serves you now? We hungry." He points at his belly and smacks his lip. Robes. I can feed you if you join me. Goblins look relieved and grab their weapons and gear, preparing to follow you. We fights, we kills, we eats. They sing happily, if out of tune. One looks wistfully into the distance and adds, "We lost some master's things when running from tower. Don't beat us. We show you where." I welcome your service. The goblins point to 2 stacks of chests and sacks not far from where you stand. Let's collect those, shall we? We'll need those. So here, this enables the hiring of goblins when inside your domain, and units regenerate health here. So we're going to go grab this, because we need that money. And you can see you can now hire, and it's a really interesting way that's done. It's a hiring slot up here, so you can have more slots and hire more people at the same time. This guy is a little goblin archer. I'm going to need a healer at some point in time, so we'll want to hire one. These goblin shaman can do pretty good for a while until you can get access to better healers. So aid has been there, and now we're going to summon an enchanted wisp. We're going to research that. End of turn. So let's go up here. We want to build some buildings, and right now the first thing we want to build is the study, which costs us 25 mana. We don't have enough to build the workshop yet. So now let's talk to these bozos. The village's inhabitants eye you with an air of hostility when you arrive. Children are called inside. Some of the villagers arm themselves with tools and sticks. Your band regards them cautiously in return. A burly black-haired man brandishing a cudgel steps forward and says, "There is nothing for you here." Show them you mean no harm. The villagers barely budge, but after a moment, one of the elders steps forward hesitantly. "We were afraid you would bewitch us. The old wizard's apprentice thought they would come after him. and take back the items he gave us. We wanted to trade them in the city to buy clothes for our children. I have no intention of harming you. Let's trade. Trade? But you? We? Trade? The elder stares at you, slow to collect himself and call out to his people. The mage's troops are here to trade. As those around him begin to relax, he leans in to squint at you. You are not playing a cool trick on us. You really wish to trade for our goods? Yes, trade. Is that so hard to fathom? It's just we humbly apologize for our behavior. Now, what would you wish to trade for the goods? I can perform some cantrips for a few ingredients. The villagers agree to trade you some of their harvest for a few mending spells, though they seem uncertain about the results. And you get plus 20 with some undiscovered faction. As you leave, you think about the apprentices villagers kept speaking of. Perhaps you can find them. They may be able to shed some light on your master's fate. So now we have them and they're in our domain, and it grants you faster and additional unit hiring when inside your domain. And now we get two slots to hire because of that. But hiring right now is not a big deal. So we want to go over here and grab this. And we're going to wait. This is the tower up here. So elemental weapons. We have researched our Summon Wisp is currently being done. So now we've learned this and we can research that one. Those can be useful, just not in this region actually. And there's some more goods over here. And then what is this? Enables the hiring of dwarven sentries. Right. So there's that and this over here. Okay. Getting going here. Your master's missive spoke of an all-fire source he discovered not far from here. Now that you have established yourself in the tower, it's time to search for it. You eagerly scour his scribblings for any hint. Not to the source's location. It must be close to the tower. Else your master would not have set up his abode here. Eventually, you find the location noted in your master's grimoire. It is not even a day's walk from the tower, but how to access the all-fire. As many have found out to their detriment, no mortal may touch the all-fire without being consumed. The Circle only recently discovered how to master its power, and they will not teach their secret to anyone. But your master once described a theory of his of a magical conduit. By summoning an ethereal creature to meld with the all-fire source and retaining the connection to it after it had been consumed, you may be able to channel some of the all-fire's power into yourself. A wisp may do the trick, an ethereal being often used by mages and scouts and messengers. Let's summon a wisp and try. And there's the all-fire source over here. So we have to beat those guys. And there are 5 bugs on it. So we're going to need a little more powerful before we can do anything about that. And that's okay, because we'll grab these goods. Go back this way. This is a tier 2 minion that shoots a fireball. And these guys are just tier 1 grunts. So. Alright, now we've summoned the wisp. We can summon that. We don't want to summon it until we're closer to being able to meld with the all-fire. So, elemental weapons or sniff gold. Let's go with elemental weapons, even though they're not going to be useful. You can click on these guys over here and see them. Let's get a little bit closer. Well, we'll take a look at them when we get them. Oh, movement points restored. Okay, we can't. We can only mine right now. These guys you can see, and you can see they have elemental weakness. So our elemental weapons will be useful against them. Okay. We're going to kill some time while we're waiting for some stuff and get over here and mine this. And then let's look at our artificing. What do we have right now that we can make? Anything good? I got to look at my list here. There is on a Steam page, and I'll remember to put this in the link down below in the description. There's a really nice Steam guide that someone put together for this that shows you all the artificing recipes for all the different kinds of ore. So, and for instance, you can create a glyph called Fire Wielding. It grants exploit burn, so +6 damage on burning enemies. They have to be burning first. So if this guy sets them on fire with his fireball, we can have our melee people do more damage with it. So maybe we'll make one of those. So what you need is a mountain copper, and then you need elemental. You need 3 elementals. So we've got this right here. This one thing will do it. So that creates lesser grip of the fire wielder. Gains bonus when attacking enemies affected by burning. So that'll start us on our way to 4 of those. And then you can also do healthy, which is life. There's this, the herbalist. Oh, we want to use that one actually. Healthy though, 3 life ones will get you. We only have, we have those right now. So if we want to make another glyph, you can do this. And this is grants the wearer an additional life plus 10 health, but we don't have another crafting slot. We only have the one. So we're still waiting. We're not spending this money, and I know somebody's probably going, build your room right now. No, you have to wait. You have to wait. Trust me on this. Just wait a little. Now we get faction promotion for the week. This is really nice. Plus 5 mana per day. And now we should have our apprentice showing up. Not far from your tower, you spot a hooded figure watching you from a crop of trees. Is the circle already aware of your presence here? Danger may be closer than you expected. You know the local militia holds a watchtower not far away. Perhaps you can acquire help there. Let's talk to them. So this outpost just showed up, which is always really convenient. So we'll go talk to them. Some soldiers loiter in front of the watchtower, but there isn't even a proper guard posted. At the sight of your approach, a few of them do get up, unsure on their feet and obviously more than a little drunk. Offer them gold to join your ranks. A bearded man in a dented breastplate scratches his head. I don't know. We have a pretty good life out here. The Baron don't care what we do. The town pays our wages and no one bothers us. Your thing sounds a lot like dangerous work. Offer them more gold. This is why we wanted to save our gold. The leader looks greedily at the bags of coin. I guess you have enough to make it worth our while. The soldiers start packing their gear. Lead the way, mage. We will follow. And so what that does is it gives you a tier 2 unit. This guy right here. So you get the tier 2 unit, the Mole Riders. You can see 110 hit points, which is just huge. They're a mountaineer. They can cross mountains. Heavy blows. This unit maximum actions are reduced by 1. Does not affect and stop. So all attacks inflict daze on people. He's also a forester. Ignores movement penalties of force, and he can burrow, which allows him to move up to 6 and then go into guard later, so you can get behind enemy lines, which is really nice. So we have little archers and this guy. I'm going to take this guy right here. Let's see. And what do you have? He has the world skill mine ore. We're going to give him the world skill harvest plant too. And you guys are going to join us. And then we're just going to wait for our apprentice to show up. He's going to be here soon. So you can go back into the tower. Waiting orders. Tell this guy over here and snooze. The study has been constructed, and now we're getting close to being able to construct the next building. Late at night, a frantic rattling of the door wakes you up. From your window, you see a hooded figure nervously eyeing the path leading up to your tower. Spotting you, they frantically wave and shout, "Quick, open up in the name of our master. They are after me." You can get more involved with this, but we're just going to open the door because we know it's our apprentice. After you play the game a few times, you kind of know the order of events here at the beginning. After quickly sliding through the doorway and locking the door behind him, a man slumps against the wall and breathes. I pray they have not spotted my trail, or we may all be lost. Slowly catching his breath, he pulls down his hood. He is older than you thought, his beard already graying. Apologies, where are my manners? I know who you are. Our master spoke very highly of you, but no doubt you wonder who I am. I am Fulrian Ironbend. I studied to become an earth master with our late master, he says proudly. Here is proof of my work with him. He hands you a number of densely scribbled pages. They revolve around working with various ores and metals and are marked several times by your master's hand. What happened to our master? I must say, it is quite a tale. He takes a seat at the small table near the tower entrance. You want me to tell you everything, or just what has happened to our master's research after the circle came for him? Oh, tell me everything. As you no doubt know, our master's obsession has always been to control the flow of the Allfire. It is something long thought lost with the Shapers, but a few years ago he made a breakthrough. He managed to split the Allfire's flow with a magical prism, allowing him to harvest part of his might and begin real research into its mastery. It was a slow and dangerous process, but he did succeed. I have his treatise on the subject. Interesting. Tell me more. Having begun to master the Alfire, he grew more ambitious. He devised a much larger prism that could be mounted onto his tower to channel far more of the Alfire into a special chamber where it could be siphoned off directly. Ingenious, I must say. Nothing like that has ever been attempted. But there's no such chamber here, because he never had the chance to build it. An emissary of the Circle came and attempted to warn him off, but he did not heed the threat. He was too close to another breakthrough to stop, so the Circle came back with an ultimatum. Knowing full well they would intervene, he handed me the pages of his research for safekeeping and sent me away. I was still inside of the tower when they arrived. The man looks crestfallen as he haltingly replies, I ran, I'm ashamed to admit. My master did tell me to go, for his research was more important than his life, he said, but still I panicked and ran. Not out of duty, but out of fear. I traded with the local villagers to hide me in their cart and carry me away from here. The man looks at you a little forlornly. I never saw our master again, but now I have failed him twice. How so? When I heard someone was rebuilding the tower, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. I hid in a goblin village not far from here. The Circle was watching for me and ambushed me, demanding I hand over our master's pages. He begins to sob as he says, I feared for my life. I gave them the plans our master died to protect. Where was this? Day's journey from here. Not far away is a tower the Circle's forces have long used as a base. I am certain that is where they took the pages with our master's most valuable research. I managed to gather some of our master's former servants, but our forces are not sufficient to take the Circle's minions. I implore you, please help him protect our master's legacy. I swear I will not fail him again. I will even offer you my services if you help me retake his research. Please, together we may best the Circle's forces. Our master's work must be preserved. I agree, and we're going to get axe wielders and a dwarven worker and earth shapers. So earth shapers are nice, and we get a level 3 of that going on. These guys suck, so you get a horn beast and lesser fire golems. Thank goodness they're lesser, and we get these guys. So we want to rearrange this. We want to rearrange how all this works. He's a worker. And we're going to take him and try to go do work. Do this. Mine him. Now. So click to build a room, but we can't build the workshop yet because we need a little bit more gold. And now we have access to this. So this allows you to poke everything into research, proficiency, or mana. So you can go like this. Research is really important in the beginning, obviously. And later on, and proficiency is always important. This is how you're going to level up. I'm going to adjust like more for research and proficiency. Like this. 3 and 4. I want to get to level 10 as fast as possible, because at level 10, this domain will expand and it'll grab this unit over there. And there's only 3 guys over there and we want to go get them. So we're going to wait here. Let's see. You have the harvesting one, so we can't remove you, but we can grab these guys. All right, so we have you guys. All right, I still kind of want to wait. I want to get my whole force together. So we're going to have them wait for a second. And have them wait for a second and we can have them move. It's 2 turns for these guys. Let's have you guys move over here. We're going to have them build this and try to capture those 2 nodes. Because every one of your apprentices can build a lodge, which can capture stuff, which can mine stuff. You toss and turn in your bed, haunted by the strangest images. After hours spent struggling to sleep, you sit up, but you find yourself surrounded by an eerie, impenetrable fog. All around you, ethereal whispers float by. It is a dream, it must be. Walk into the fog. You fight your way through the fog, turned around in a meaningless direction until you find yourself on a high mountain, overlooking the fog below you. I see something in the distance. Your mind is suddenly bombarded with streams of thoughts that are not your own. Information comes and goes, leaving you feeling a little lightheaded but empowered. You get some research out of that, which is nice. This thing's going to come and attack this tower. But this is fine if I can get where I need to be here. Where do I need to be to grab both of those things? Right there. All right. It should take 2 turns to do that. There we go. There he goes. It's going to attack my tower, and it's going to take 4 turns for him to do that. So, elemental weapons are good. So now we get heal, and then what do we have over here? Transmutation, always good. Start the research on that. All right, you guys come over here. So what I want to do is have Cheapo Grunt go over there. Tier 2 guy go over here. All right, so that's a tier. It's a mage, tier 5. Tier 2 mole riders, tier 2 artificer, tier 2 earth shapers, which are really your healers, and axe wielders as dwarves. So you guys are kind of on your own. So you're going to go join this as protection for this unit, although it's not much protection. You'll end up running most of the time. All right, so he's going to go over there. That should provide us with the 2 mana over here. We have to clear this tower before we can actually start mining those units, but that's okay because we want to go over here and take on this guy. All right, and we have enough. Let's see, what kind of units are we fighting? He's got elemental resistance, and so do these guys. All right, let's give it a go. Let's hope we don't lose anybody. We are at threat of losing those guys. Let's auto-resolve. That's okay. So these guys, for each ally with pack tactics in their unit, or they're immune to burning, let's do that. We're not going to have pack tactics here because we're not going to have enough members for that. You can give him speed or armor. These guys are mostly defensive. Speed becomes a factor later. Speed is something really good for your melee units to be able to move a really long way and move around people and flank them from behind. For him, it's all about survivability because he's the group's healer. These guys, speed or health, will get speed on them. They need to be able to move. All right, so awaiting orders. You guys go over here, join him. There you go. And then what we can do is we have runes. So for these guys, exploit burn. They're our main melee attackers, but so are these guys. They have a melee attack. We're going to give this exploit burn. And then if we want to build another rune, we could do the healthy one. Because it was life, life, life. That'll get you that 10 health. If people die though, those runes go away, so you lose them. There's your stolen pages we want to go, and there's the meld with the Allfire. So we have a choice here as soon as these guys get healthy. So up here, your mastery tells you how many spell points you can spend each turn. So for instance, if we wanted to go over here and say elemental weapons, it's going to take more than a turn for us to cast that spell on these guys. He's not quite healed yet. And he can get over there in 1 turn. What's this say? Unexplored. Oh, well, let's go. Alright, let's get some... Oh. I was going to say, let's get some experience, but they ran out of movement points. Now we're going to get into the dangerous stuff. Daily 100% regeneration. Well, that's nice. I like that. And then we just made level 10, so it's going to expand our domain. So we get a domain radius +1. We get 1 more apprentice slot, and we get 3 more tower rooms. And all the circular mages didn't like that. And there's our apprentice that we have to go get. So that's the first tower that's close by, and we got a long way to go to get over there before we can get a second apprentice. So we take our spell, and we say we want these guys to have elemental weapons. All right, now smack them down. It's going to be a resounding victory. And then I'm going to stay there again. What's this say? Explore mana reserve. What's this one? Daily generate health. I'm going to do that. I might make that rune. Or did I make it already? Because I was going to put it on these guys. Yep, right there. Give them 10 more health. Okay. That works. You guys, what do you got here? So one of the first little quests here, dangerous endeavors. A crowd clusters around a young man in front of the local tavern. He looks like he has seen a horrid fight, all torn and bruised. He is telling the tale, feeding his dog meaty treats. Stay away from the caves. Those blasted snow leopards charged right at me. Of course, I was scared out of my mind, but Sam here jumped in. I dragged myself away while a little boy fought them off like it was nothing. You are a hero, Sam, you hear? A hero. The dog is not little, but definitely delighted with his snacks and certainly a hero. To Sam! And then this says, grants 10% cheaper room crafting when inside your domain. Well, that's too bad we don't stretch far enough to get that. All right, so there is... You want to be careful as you're moving around to mine things. Because if enemies are close enough, they'll attack you. So. Oh, now we're really going. Here comes group number 2 coming. These guys will keep sending units out of here every couple of days, which is why you want to get rid of that as fast as possible. So here's what we want to do is be able to transmute mana to gold. It's a 2-to-1 thing. I don't want to use a whole bunch of it. Let's see, what do I really need? I really need like 1, but I need a little backup. Let's do this. Okay, so now we can go to the tower and we can say build a workshop, because this is going to earn us 3 gold per day and give us an additional crafting slot. The workshop is actually one of the better units in the whole game. And then up here we get earth lore. The dwarves have long known how to coax the secrets of untapped veins of ore from the ground. This incantation is how they do it. It's really nice. I like having that one. I also like having heal. Let's grab this one though. All right, you guys, we need the all fire. Let's go over here and do it. I only got elemental weapons on the one, guys. Let's hope it's enough here. Kill those pests. Approaching the all-fire node's location, you find it buzzing with activity. A swarm of insects has taken hold of it, no doubt attracted by the place's alluring energy. And it's a heroic victory, and Kai's leveled up. Leveling up, always good. Gonna have some coffee. Very nice. All right, so level. Oh, so this is increases lodge domain range by 1. So that's automatically going to make that thing happen. We'll get the other guys here in a second. After dispersing the giant insects, you eagerly approach the place where a glow seems to break through the ground, pulsating with promise. The all-fire draws you to it, its power singing to you. As tempting as it is, you know that outside the circle of mages, no one can touch it and survive. If you summon a wisp, it could meld with the all-fire source and allow you to channel its energy. I have that summoning spell in my grimoire. So now we get this, which is a construction site, which is actually something that's necessary in your page. Once we construct 4 glyphs, this page will expand and there'll be more quest related stuff. And one of those things is to have a construction site in our domain to reach the next level. So we want to start summoning the wisp. It'll take a turn. And then we want to move this direction. These guys are going to come fighty-bitey. And they're going to level up. So what are our level choices? Armor or daily regen? We'll grab armor every time. These guys are our healers. They need focus. You can also get 2 gold a day, which is really nice. I like having that a lot, but the focus is more important for them. Willpower or gold per day? Okay, again, they're a tier 1 unit. They're never going to see the end game. Willpower isn't going to be quite as important for them. I'm going to grab the gold per day. I'd rather have that. Okay, those guys are attacking the tower first, but they're going to get eaten by the monsters. So it's always nice when one band of monsters takes care of the other. The process of rebuilding your master's tower is now underway, and your attention turns to his grimoire. It looks like pages were hastily torn from the tome, though whether by your master or someone else is unclear. On the binding, you also find a spidery pattern of barely legible words right where some of those pages would have been. Squinting at the tiny script, you realize it forms instructions. They seem to point somewhere a bit further away from the tower. Surely this was meant for you to find. Perhaps some of the grimoire's missing pages are hidden at the locations the instruction points to. So there are lost pages. There's actually 1 lost page. You want to go get it. And there's Mr. Undead guy. There's Wraith. So we've run into him already. An intense cold seems to emit from the undead soldiers before you. The quiet chime of bones, the occasional groan, all reinforces the impression of some dark brooding under the surface. They fly the banner of a member of the circle. It shows a black obsidian gate, an obelisk that is a gateway to a strange world with 4 moons of different sizes. Looking at it, strangely disconcerting. A cloaked figure steps up. You see milky white skin and pointed ears protruding from raven black hair. The dark elf speaks with frost in his voice. You are new, are you not? The one the circle has been talking about? I am Wraith Skada, master of these forces. Take note. I will not have you interfere with my affairs. Okay, we'll make sure to stay away from you. For a little while. The cloaked figure vanishes again, and all that is left is the lingering cold and the taste of ash in your mouth. Charming personality. Alright, so we've cleared the all-fire source. You could summon this anywhere in your domain. Summon it. Let the wisp meld with the node and study it. You barely manage to avert your gaze from the wondrous energy. So powerful is your desire to delve into the all-fire source, but you do restrain yourself, focusing instead on what you can learn from observing the meld. Hell with the circle. I will conquer the all-fire. And then you gotta press this, and he'll meld with it. That takes a couple of turns. Alright. And see, it's decaying already. 3 turns, and that's gonna be gone, so... Let's take these turkeys out. Heroic victory. Oh, good. We hardly lost any hit points, too. Nice. Okay. In that case, we'll go roll over that. We'll try to get the stolen pages first, I think. Another loser shows up. Elemental weapons, sniff gold, heal. What else do we have? We got this, the first page here. Bless. This is nice. This is a great spell. It makes it so that your characters do maximum damage every single time. It's really, really nice. So we're going to have these goons taken care of. This each time gives us some experience points. What's it say? It just says 4 bodies. Okay, stolen pages. Let's wait a turn and try to heal up a little bit. Meld with the Allfire. You can see that expands your domain. It gives you this, the Allfire. Crossing a particularly tricky mountain route, you hear distressed voices. Behind a steep curve, you find a group of miners held hostage by granite dwarves. Last chance. What will it be, the adamantium or your lives? Hold it right there, thieves. The granite dwarves look you over quickly, then offer you a deal. We want no trouble, just the metals. If you help us, we'll give you half in return. The miners give you a pleading look. Please, we need all the adamantium. Otherwise, our forges will lie dormant. We will pay you to rid us of these thieves. Half the adamantium, you say? No, they're going to give you corrupt adamantium, so skip it. We'll just kill him. Alright, so now he gets 3 choices. Retreat applies nimble to allied units in a 6 hex radius around the user, and that means none of them will trigger attacks of opportunity. You can deal white damage to an enemy within 4 range, or you can heal the health of each allied unit in a 1 meter radius around the user. We're going to do this. We know we're going to be fighting undead later, so that'll be good. The moles, they get daily regeneration or 2 damage when retaliating. These guys can get gold per day or missile range and vision. The missile range is important because they do have stone fist attack, which is a missile attack. So while I'd like the money, we'll do that. And then these guys on the ground, 2 damage retaliating or 2 armor against melee attacks. Either one is good. Probably gonna go with that. Alright, so plus 20, plus 20, plus 20, undiscovered faction. The miners keep their word, thanking you manyfold for your help. You get the feeling that word of your deeds will travel. Alright, now, let's see if we can do this. We did not fear you. Attack! The Circle's forces have spotted you far from and are prepared for battle. Stay away or we'll end you. Well, let's see, what do we have? A decisive victory, but we're going to lose one, it says. Maybe. Do we? Nope. He still has 5 hit points left. Awesome. Now that you have dealt with both demons and Medusae, begin to wonder what other kinds of creatures the circle controls. Consorting with demons is a dangerous endeavor. That the circle would use them shows their recklessness, but also the creature's immense power. You should look for my master's papers. And the circle is very unhappy with you. Search through every room of the circle's tower until you find your master's research spread out on a table. As promised, he has written about a way to channel a much larger amount of all fire using your tower as a focus. Scanning the text, you barely understand half of it, but the potential is evident. This method would have brought him far closer to mastering the all-fire and rival the circle of mages. No wonder they wanted him stopped. They feared he would become their equal. I must study this further, no matter what the circle thinks. And the first tower goes kapoof, and you learn Flying Spire. Rip your tower from the ground and levitate it freely through VR. So there we go. That is a pretty darn good way to end this episode, is right there. I like that. Folks, what do you think? I love this game. I have been enjoying the hell out of it. I just am having an absolute blast with it. It's become my favorite Fantasy 4X for a whole bunch of reasons, and we'll get to those reasons as the game progresses, and I will do my best to explain all of my choices as usual as I go along, so that hopefully people who are new to the game can become informed by watching the series. I will see you next time, and until then, I am Colors Fade. If you liked the video, give it a like, leave a question or comment down below. That really helps tweak the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to binge watch the whole series, go to the page, hit the join button. It's $4.95 a month. You get custom emojis and badges for the live streams and chats, and it'll give you access to all the videos when I do a series like this and drop it all at once, so you can binge watch it. Everybody else has to wait for the weekly uploads, or the weekly, I should say. Everything's already uploaded. It's just a matter of how YouTube distributes it. So you set a schedule and it comes out. So that's how that works. Anyway, thanks everybody. See you next time. Happy gaming.